And I was like, well, I can do that. It's just, let me do it in a different way. So it's about always educating and saying, hey, there's a world out there. It can be colourful, but it can also be muted as well. And I think a lot of people who have interiors think that you can't be colourful because they just immediately think of primary colours. But there's so many colours for an interior, so many shades and tones, and pattern obviously plays a huge, huge part in the whole story.
And tell us about these wonderful spaces.
Well, the top image was for hotel collectionists. So we did a series of 10 rooms, all wildly different from one another. But again, they were drawing on nostalgia. They were, named individually after characters. The top one was actually called Candy Wong or something like that. It was all of them reminiscent of a time or a period or a country, so it did have an international sort of flavour. So the left-hand side, super inspired by the shopping bags. So the ceiling was hand painted with a plaid detail, and then lots of trompe-l'oeil effects. So the budget was very, very very bad on this particular project, but it was amazing because we had to think outside the box. So all the skirting detail, which looks like a beautiful viola slab, is actually all hand painted as well. And we worked with Elke, who's a jewellery designer, who came up with all of the carpet patterns for Brintons and was releasing this entire range. And we decided to use 10 of her patterns for each of the rooms. And on the left is, basket weave, and in the middle is a massive terrazzo pattern, and on the right, another massive terrazzo pattern, but in different shades. So all had a very different language, but kind of read the same.
Fabulous. Thank you very much for that. Evie, can you tell me about you and your childhood and colour?
Well, I think my story would be the saddest one because that's the only childhood photo I could master for a good reason. I grew up in Indonesia and my family moved home recently and they lost the childhood photo box. So that's the only one on Facebook.